Let's give it a minute to catch up here. I was watching some basketball today. I don't want to. The probably never seen. It's fun watching it. That's for sure. Lifestyle. We're going to be live here in just a second. Just hang with me. We're going to have a lot of fun tonight. Oh, boy, is all I got to say. And here we go. All right. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Let me do it then. Jesus. It's okay. Come on, man. It ain't that hard. What hour is this? And look who that is. And there we are. See that? And there we are. Look at that. I did it. I did it. All right. Hello, Texas. Don't turn that dial. This is the Fly Mackey Show. And I'm your host, Fly Mackey. Nice to have you with me. And this, hold on one second. Let me get my sponsor up there. Our sponsor for this show is A1 Roofing and Storage out of Arizona. These guys are great roofers. You got to hire somebody like that when you're hiring a roofer. Licensed, bonded, insured. When these guys show up, they not only go on to, I'll tell you what to expect because they show up with a very specific agenda. It's the same one that we do here. You've heard me say it 1,000 times, but they do one very similar. So they'll take a tour of the house, the roof, and you can go with them. And then they're going to get on the roof. Don't recommend it, but you could get it. You could do it too. I had an 82-year-old lady get up there with me, and her husband says, "You're not getting up there." She goes, "How do you know? Or how do you think I know there's a problem?" Is what she said. He goes, "I don't know, honey. How?" She goes, "Because I was on the roof." He goes, "You was?" She said, "Yes." He was blown away. He just started laughing. Oh, boy. He said, "Okay, be careful." She got up there with us again. Then they're going to take some photos. Then they'll get up in your attic and do a full inspection up there, because it's not really what's the shingles. It's what's under the shingles, and then what happens in the attic. Then they're going to go down, and then they're going to do give you the results. So if you let them sit down at your dining table, it helps, because these are hardworking guys and gals. And then they'll do an inspection, or give you the results of the inspection. And then after that, then they'll talk a little bit about themselves and the company. And they found, in all their years of experience, you've heard me say this, but they found it too, that homeowners find more important than the price or the material is the company that does the work. And even though it only takes them a couple of minutes to explain it, it's the most important part. Then you get to go roof shopping, and they have a variety of roofs to choose from. And before they leave, you can write up some contracts. They'll put you in the installation schedule. That's the most important is getting in the installation. When's it going to be done? Next week, a month from now, 2 months, depending on you and your schedule and your need is how they'll put you in there. And then they'll also provide payment options. Let me back up just a step. A lot of times when a contractor shows up to your house, people think, "Oh, now I got to find an installer," or go to the city for permits, or even go to the bank for financing. What's really going to happen is, if you hire them, by the time they leave, they're going to take care of all of that for you, including the payment options. Now, they also like to be very realistic, and they know that one of three things are going to happen between you and them while they're at your house. One is you're going to say, "Hey, man, I like those guys. The price is right. I love the roof. Let's hire them." Or you're going to say no for whatever reason. Timing's wrong. The money, whatever. There's 1,000 reasons. And it's going to be a no. And they understand that. That's part of the business. It's the third response that they're going to do best to avoid. And that is, "I'll call you back tomorrow or the next day or next month." Most homeowners are great people, but in their experience, they know that that's a nice way of saying no. So they'll make you, and it's not like they wouldn't come back. It's just that if they find you a roof that you like and you trust them and they make it affordable, then hire them. Say yes right then, right there. Or say no, so that they can part as friends. They can take no as graciously as a yes. Okay? And then they'll part friends. All right. Man, I've hired contractors before. Let me tell you something. It is a booger. I mean, who wants to spend 2 or 3 or 4 hours with a contractor more than once or twice? Okay. Sometimes you do. You want to sit down. You have to interview the contractor, whoever you're hiring, because they're going to be in your house or on your house. They're going to be tearing up your house, because that's what it takes. You got to tear it up before you can fix it, right? But anyway, you're going to get to know these guys and gals So you better interview them and interview them good. Know exactly what you're getting. Okay. All right. So tonight we're going to go over some really fun facts and figures on how to turn your remodeling job into an investment on your home instead of just a cost or an expense. Remember, when you do a remodel job, you want to do it once and never do it again. That's the key. That's the goal, right? Yeah, that's the key. That's the goal. All right. And so I'm going to show you, we're going to go over this evening how to pay for these jobs and, how to make that an investment into your home. All right. And this is going to be a lot of fun. I was just doing calculations. I'm not finished with it, but I'm doing the calculations. By the way, there's going to be no commercial breaks on this TV show. Before we get into that, just want to say, Fly Mackey here, CEO and founder of Smart Money Culture Television. And we help people get credit. And if you're looking for ways to fund your business, or you're wanting to start a business and you want to know how to fund your business, then the easiest way is with 0% business credit cards. They're easy to get. We found out the ingredients to make the meal. So that was a dumb analogy. We know exactly what we're doing. We've helped hundreds of people get millions of dollars worth of 0% business credit cards. And that's the best and easiest way to fund your business. If you want to get 50,000 to, if you want to get a couple of 100,000. Now, it's been our experience when you hire us that we get our customers somewhere between 50 and 300,000 in the first couple of weeks. So if you're interested, you can go to smartmoneyculture.tv/credit. Okay. All right. Let's take one quick look at Bitcoin, because they call me the Bitcoin banker and the credit king. We're having some fun tonight. Let's look at, and thank you A1 Roofing for sponsoring this show. Let's take a look at some Bitcoin real quick. And here you go, $63,851. Oh boy, look at this. You see this? It's trying. It's slowed down. Look at this. Here was the all-time high right here at $73,000. And here's where it's at right now as we speak. Wow. Look at that. That is so beautiful. Let's hold on. I'm going to make this screen a lot bigger so you can see it. Look at this. We're just going to look at this in a few minutes, and then we're going to get into the payments on how to make your remodeling job an investment. Here's the all-time high right here. The all-time high was $73,000. All-time high was $73,781.24. It has a $1.262 trillion market cap, and it is traded in the last 24 hours. Wow, look how low that is. 19 billion, 1.56 of the market cap. All right, now let's go back over here because you want to pay attention. Let me look you straight in the eye here. That is a very low trading volume day. But as you look at the chart here, you're going to see, oh, wow, look at this. This is amazing. Let's look at the chart again. You ready? Look at this right here. Look at this, guys. Only traded about $19 billion. But look at these. Look at these candles. Look at this. In the last 4 days, it started going up. As I said, I'm pretty sure, based on what I'm charting, and I'm doing kindergarten charting here. We're not doing anything extravagant, nothing world class like you would get from Matt Dixon from this site here. He's a world class trader and analyst, or Christopher Inks, homegrown boy out of Houston, Texas, or out of Texas. Anyway, you see that these guys would do really fancy charts. I'm doing charts for dummies. And when I say that, I'm talking about myself. But let's take a look at this. Look at this right here. Oh, boy. Wow. Wow. That's all I got to say. So here's the all-time high, the 73,700. And then here's where it is now at the 63,851. You see it's ascending. It's going down, or it's descending, going down here. Is it going to try to make a run up? It looks like it. It looks like it. We're just going to spend another minute here. Not a lot. We're not going to spend a lot of time here. You can see here. See that right there? We hit the bottom of these mountains. Hit the bottom here. Hit the bottom. Hit the bottom. Hit the bottom there. It went through here. But we're going down. We're descending. You can look here. If you took, that's the more true right there. That's really the top of this mountain, top of this mountain, top of this mountain right here. You could go, because some guys would say, no, you got to go to this one right here. That's what that looks like right there. So we'll see. We'll see. You got a lot of room to go here. Got a lot of room to go. Let's see what happens. Awful exciting. See what's happening with Bitcoin. But on this trajectory right here, if it decides to keep going along this path right here, by the 14th of October, we could be at 76,000. If it stayed on this trajectory, going up this chain right here a little bit at a time. And by October 30th, we could be somewhere around $87,000. Okay. I have this thing charted all the way to $188,000. And I think in order to get there, you could probably get there by the 20th of March on this trajectory. If it was going up this ladder right here, going up and down and up and down and up and down. And if it followed this trail here, if it followed this line, it could do it. Will it? Well, it's had lots of chances. Okay. Let's talk about your projects. This is going to be a lot of fun. And I want you guys, let's turn on this other camera. Interesting. Let's see what that looks like. Don't go nowhere. We're going to get into this. I got enough time to do this. Okay. We're going to have some fun here, okay? I got to have my coffee. When you're hiring a contractor, okay, get to me. Oh, hold on a second. All right. All right. Some of the things. How do you hire a contractor? Can you see that right there? How to hire a contractor. It's one of the things that you want to ask them. Ask these guys. Are you licensed, bonded, insured? Licensed, bonded, insured? You want to ask these guys that. Do these contractors interact with the community? Now, you don't have to be a saint, but have you ever done anything for the community? I mean, you live here. Do you live here? Do you actually live in this community? Or are you from California or New York or Florida or some other state? Do you actually live here? What's something else that you may ask them? You might want to ask them, where can we go to find you? Like, where are you? It's important that you can find the contractor. I mean, we do virtual office. If they have a virtual office, I'm not hiring them. But anyway, it's okay. You hire who you want to do. But have you ever hired a contractor? What do you expect from the contractor when they come out? What makes one contractor different from the other? Like, how do you distinguish me from somebody else? If I make banjos, what's going to make my banjo different than yours? If I'm doing roofs, what makes me a better roofer, or what makes me a different roofer than somebody else? Are we all the same? How long should an inspection take? Now, these are just, I'm not going to, I'm not trying to sell something here. I'm just throwing some questions out so that you can look at the situation and see. But you're inviting somebody into your home. All right? You should always have fun at it, and you should like your contractor. You should not be mean to them. They should not be mean to you. It should be likable. You should like each other. You should like your contractor. Now, I'm going to show you today how to turn your project into an investment versus a cost or an expense. A lot of times people take their cash, they throw it out. Nothing wrong with that. Cash is king, they say. I don't believe that, but they say cash is king. Of course, if I can go down a little bit of history here with inflation. Typically, over the last 80 years, now we're going into the 90th year. We're 4 years into the 90th year. Typically, the price of products go up they double every 10 years. Like if you bought eggs 10 years ago, for 99 cents, they should be around $2 10 years later. Okay. And you can do that with cars and houses and stuff like that. But either way, in the last 4 years, prices have gone up 340% in 4 years. The prices of things, if you look at eggs, 99 cents 4 years ago, you fast forward it to 4 years, and this last year, 11 months, 10 months, 9 months into the year, and eggs are the average price for a dozen eggs in the United States, from the East Coast to the West Coast, from the top to the bottom, is $5.25 for a dozen eggs. That's the average national price, which means the price of eggs have gone up 400% in the last 4 years. Incredible. Okay, so why would you spend your cash? Because cash is not king, but some people think so. But let's just take a look at what it would look like if I was to use my credit to pay. Okay? By the way, this interest is going to blow you away. You're going to say, who would ever do this? Well, a lot of people put things on credit. Okay? And then they pay in, like your house. Let's do a quick example of the house. Now, I'm going to talk out loud. Y'all can hear me here. Let's do a mortgage calculator. Okay, are you ready? And then we're going to come back to the job right here that you can see in front of you, because we don't have a lot of time. We may do that. A $400,000 house. Look at this right here. A $400,000 house, because the average house now is $440,000. In the last president, the average house was $120,000. Now the prices are around $440,000. Probably sometime in the next year or so, we're going to have a big crash. That'll be great when that happens. I hope it does, because prices ought to really crash. And you'll be able to buy houses for almost nothing or at major discounts. But let's say $440,000. Okay. And you're doing that for 30 years. And let's say you're only paying 6%. It's actually right now 6.125 is the national average. It just came down. So you might say it's 5.99. Started in October. Let's say you're going to start next month in November or October. Let's say October next month. Calculate that out and look at this. Wow. Oh, wow. Can you see this? Hold on a second. I'm going to put it up there for you so you can see this. Look at this. Ooh, wow. Look at that. This is what it looks like. You see that right here? For a $400,000 house, you'll pay $948,670. You'll wind up paying a whole $508,000, $508,670,000 in interest alone for that $440,000 house at 6% interest. Now, so I'm saying to you, you should pay for your projects using credit, and you're saying, why would I do something that's stupid? Well, we're going to teach you something today that's going to blow your mind. Let's go back here. 20,000. Now, there was 3 projects that we looked at that I looked at helping finance this week. One was for 40,000, one was for 17,000, one was for One was for 40,000. Yep. One was for 17,000 and one was for 20. And we're going to take the $20,000 job because that customer Well, I'm just going to use their information because they gave me permission to. And I was going to bring them on TV, but we're not bringing them on TV today. Okay. So anyway, let's just take a look at this. You pay this off in 7 years. And by the way, I told them use your credit card because they didn't have a line of credit. Now, if it was going to be a line of credit, it would have been, like 7% interest on the lines of credit typically. But using a credit card is 26%. Who would do something that crazy? Well, a lot of people do. And she'd wind up paying for that $20,000 house if she pay or roof job. If she was to take 7 years on that credit card, just making the $500 a month payments. Do you see that right there? She'd pay $43,604. Now, people do this all the time. And I'm like, why? Like, why? Why would you do that? But people do it all the time because they're making minimum monthly payments. The minimum payment is $519. All right, now let's go through something because I want to show you. Watch this. We're going to have some fun with this. Ooh, this is exciting stuff. So instead of paying cash, which they'll never get back, you could pay with this and get it paid for, something that you would normally pay in about 6 months. You could do this. And doing this, not only does this build your credit, but it also allows you to use your credit, okay? So let's say the project is $20,000 because that's what it was, $20,000, okay? And in this case here, and I didn't calculate any of the interest payments or any of the principal payments on here. So you subtract one from the other, and you get exactly how much interest that you're going to pay on this job right here. Let's do the math on this. Hold on one second. Add $85.76 plus $113.32 plus $152.97 plus $278.79 plus $376.36 plus $508.08 equals add $405.77 plus $366.12 plus $366.12 $312.58 plus $240.30 plus $142.73 plus $11.01 equals. Holy cow. This is amazing. This is how much interest you'd pay in this if you was to stretch this out over the 84 months. But every 14 months, every time you pay down. Now let's give you the example. I want to do the example, okay? So this person told me that they have a credit card of $25,000. The project was $20,000. This is why I said put it on a credit card instead of paying cash. Keep your cash. So the over the period of 7 years of paying this off every month, paying this, they would have paid. Hold on a second. Let's look at that one more time. The interest on that. $23,604. Wow. this is what they'd have paid in interest right here over the period of 7 years. And people do this all the time, okay? But instead, 10% would be 2,000. That would be 10%, right? When they pay this way right here, the interest, this is what the interest would be every 14 months. And this is what the principal would be every 14 months that they would gain back. This is incredible stuff. The interest literally is wiped out on this project right here. But let me show you how to do it. So she had a credit card for $25,000. I said, put the project for $20,000 on the card. That was going to leave her $5,000. Now her income was $5,000 after taxes. That's what she got. Okay. Her monthly bills were $2,200. So I said, put all your pay, your income into the card. Just so you put it in you get paid into your checking account. You get paid into your checking account, and then you transfer from your checking account and just put your entire pay into the credit card. I'm going to pay it off. You don't deposit into your credit card. You call them up, you make a payment, or you do the bill pay. You pay it off. $5,000 is what you had left. That brings your balance to $10,000. Now you subtract what you're going to pay in the bills. Her bills were $2,200 a month. So I said, pay your bills out of your credit card. By the way, we're not financial advisors. Anybody can do this. It's called velocity banking. So she takes her bills and she subtracts it from the $10,000. That brings that credit line back down to $7,800. This is in month 2. She puts her pay in, comes to $12,000. She takes her bills out, brings it back to $10,600. This is after month. This is month. This is after month. Oh, she's gonna save more. I missed a payment in here. This is. Oh yeah, no. That's right. That's month 1. This is month 1. 6 months. Okay, I didn't miss one. I thought I missed one, but I didn't. So she's going to put at the end of month 2, she's going to have $10,600. See, she's putting her whole paycheck into that credit card, and then she's borrowing back. That's the good thing of having a credit line, like a HELOC, home equity line of credit, or a BLOC, bank line of credit, or a PLOC, a personal line of credit, or a credit card. You can use what's called velocity banking. Velocity banking. We teach this all the time. And this is how you turn your projects from a cost to an investment, or an expense to an investment, by using velocity banking. Here you go, $10,600 now. She puts her paycheck in. She takes out the bills. That brings her down to $13,400. This is in 3 months, 90 days. She puts her paycheck in. She takes out the bills. That brings her to $16,200 in 4 months. She puts her pay in, takes out the bills. That brings her to $19,000 of balance. That's the balance on that $25,000 credit card in 5 months. On the 6th month, it's $19,000. She only has to put $3,200 in, because remember, it's a $25,000 credit card, right? That brings it to $22,200. She subtracts the $2,200 bills. It brings it to $20,000 is paid for. It's actually, you could cut it off right here and only put $1,000 in, $2,200, because it already. Yeah, no. That's right. That's $19,000. Yeah. Because she already has a balance of $5,000, right? Am I right? Did I get that right, or did I miss a couple of months here? That's $10,000. She already has $5,000. $22,000. I missed a month, because we want to bring this to a total of $25,000, right? That's correct. We want to bring this to 25,000. All right, hold on a second. Let's redo this. This is live TV. This is $5,000. That brings that to 24,000. So we subtract her bills, which is 2,200. That's what she told me. That brings that back down to what? 21,800. You're gonna add your 5,000. This case, because it's a $25,000 card, right? So in this case, you're gonna put in 3,200, and that's gonna bring that to $25,000. Okay. Remember, she had $5,000 left. Okay. And at this point right here, it's paid for. She's paid for her roof. Yeah, it's paid for at this point right there. Right there, bam, it's paid for. 25,000. She's done. Her last payment was 3,200. It took that was the 5th month. This is the 6th month. 6th month. It took 7 months. 7 months instead of 6. It took 7 months. Whew. She saved a lot of money, man. She saved almost $22,000. She saved about 20-something thousand dollars in interest. So what happens is, if you look at that calculator, let's look at the calculator. Okay, you see here where every month her monthly payment. Let me add that back to there so you can see this. Okay, let's add this right here. You see that monthly payment right there of $519. And I didn't even calculate the $519 when the monthly payment on there is $519 to the credit card. $519 and some change, right? Let's see what that is. $519 even, something like that. Ooh. $519. So what happens is, because the credit card is going to generate a bill, right? And it's going to generate a bill for that $20,000 purchase, which is $519. Okay. So when you put more in before it generates that $500 payment, that $500 payment goes away and it actually becomes cash flow. I've got 16 minutes. And I may go over. Faith, don't put me on another hour because I'm going to come back at 9 o'clock. But this can be a lot of fun. I want to do this. Hold on a second here. You actually get $519. You get a total of $509. $19. Is it $19 or $9? It's $519. This is your monthly payment, okay? So when you do this velocity banking and you put your check in that's larger than the payment, and you do it before that payment's generated, this payment goes away. Okay? And then that becomes cash flow. So not only did you put your 5,000 in, but that turns into 10,000. Let's do the math on this. This is going to be a lot of fun. This is actually going to turn into 10,000 because you get the 519 back with it. So instead of having 5,000, that turns into 10,519 because you get this monthly bill that doesn't come out of here. The $2,200 right here, 519 was 2,200. $519 of this came out of the 2,200. Okay, so she's gaining back that 519, which would turn that to $10,519. And we'll just stick with the same 2,200 every month, okay? That way it won't confuse you. But let me show you what this looks like. It's going to be interesting. So she's going to take out the $2,200 that she owes in bills. By the way, remember, because we're including this, but we're adding it. You'll see how this works. Oh, sorry. No. That's minus the 2,200. I just want to make it simple for you, okay? I know I've confused you a little bit, but that's okay. $1,681 because you're gaining back that $519, okay? Because you're not paying the $519, you're gaining that $500 back. So when she makes her $2,200 in bills, that brings that to $10,000, right? When she pays that $2,200 in bills, that brings that down to what? That brings that down to $7,800, right? But she gets to add the 519 because it doesn't come out of here, okay? It's part of the bills. So this is going to turn into a plus $519, okay? It should be 19,578, 78,519. This is pretty cool how this works. Let's say the very next month she puts in $5,000, okay? That brings that to oh, sorry, that was $7,800. 7,800. I almost screwed that up. That brings that down to $7,800. Plus she gets that 519 back. So that brings that down to $8,300. Okay. She's going to deposit her $5,000. That's going to bring that down to $319 or up to, and that's $13,000. That's just in 1 month, 2 months here. Take that $13,000. This is pretty cool stuff. 319. Put her 5,000 or subtract the $2,200. That is 9. That's 1. That's 5. That's 5. That's $15,519. Okay. She's going to put $5,000 more dollars in. That's going to bring that to $20,519. Every month she's getting an extra $519 because it doesn't generate that bill. Okay. So even though it comes out of the $2,200, she gets it back because they're not subtracting the $519. Okay. So I'm just trying to make it as easy as possible. Minus $2,200. She actually gets to pay this off a little bit faster, but that's okay. This is pretty cool how this works. And this is exactly how you do velocity banking. 20,519 minus 2,200. That's $18,319. Okay. Just add the $5,000. That brings that to $23,319. Let's take away her bills, which is $2,200. Remember, she was getting charged the $5. That was the monthly bill, but that goes away, which means now that becomes cash flow, and it comes out of her $2,200. This was part of her $2,200 a month bill if she put it on the credit card. Okay, that brings that to down to $119. $119. $21,119. So the very next check, she only has to put in how much dollars? $25,000 minus 21,119. 519. She only has to put in $3,800. Okay, because the credit card's only 25, so you can't go over that, right? That brings that to $25,000. She's going to take out her bills, which is $2,200, which brings that to $23,000. Okay, the very next bill she's going to pay, $23,000. And she used her credit, but she got to keep all her cash. $23,000. She's gonna deposit $2,000. That's gonna bring that credit card to $25,000. Okay, and she didn't even have to put in that. It started with $5,000 credit line. So as soon as she hit $20,000, she was done because it already had $5,000. But we'll add it up. There you go, $25,000. So it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months. It still took 6 months. It took 6 months to pay that off. She wound up paying a total of almost nothing for credit and interest, but she saved herself. Look at this, by paying a monthly bill. That's what she saved herself. But people do this all the time. They get themselves a credit card debt. But this is how you use your credit card as a bank. She still paid about $1,478 in interest, if you want to put it that way. She paid $1,478 in interest. But she got to keep her $10,000. All by using velocity banking. Where did the $20,000 bill go? It got ate up from the credit card, from her pay to her bills. You see how that works? She literally paid $1,478 for that roof. And she got to save her $10,000 cash. That was a pretty crude way of doing this, by the way. Pretty crude. This was a pretty crude way of showing how to do this. But she literally got her roof for $1,478 instead of 20 grand. How? Once again, by using velocity banking strategy. She got to use her money, being her banker, because she would have just paid the cash and she'd have been, or she got to say, literally, she got to say, hold on a second, I did that wrong. I said 10,000 in cash. The roof was 20 grand, not 10. $20,000 minus 1,478. She saved 18,000. She got to keep her 20,000. She got to keep her 20,000 in cash. She used her credit card. So not only did she save her 20,000 in cash, but she used her credit card. She literally saved by doing this $18,522 of that cash that she would have spent because she paid $1,400 in interest. That's incredible. That's freaking incredible. Do you see what she did there? This is literally a paradigm move here. That's a $38,000 swing in building her wealth by using her credit as her bank. Instead of spending her $20,000 in cash, she used the card. And the difference between her income and the bills, the difference between her income and the $2,200 in bills that she owes there every month okay, becomes cash flow, which means that credit card got paid off in 6 months. Got paid off. The $25,000 got paid off in 6 months. It literally cost her $1,478 in interest payments to do that, but she got to save the $20,000 cash. And if you look at it like this, she really got to save. She really got to save about $18,522 of that $20,000 in cash. She still had to pay that about $1,478 for a $20,000 roof. Did you get that? By using her credit, instead of paying the $20,000, she paid $1,478 instead in interest payments, because her income versus her bills created cash flow. This is what the rich people do. This is how the millionaires become millionaires and the centimillionaires become 100 millionaires. This is how the billionaires get to be bigger billionaires. And I didn't, this is just the velocity banking strategy using a credit card. We didn't even talk about using your HELOC or a bank line of credit, or excuse me, a business line of credit or a personal line of credit. We talked about using a credit card that has a 26% interest rate. She didn't pay 26%. She did wind up paying, all right, so if you take the $20,000, let's do the math on that. Because people are going to say, well, it wasn't interest free. No. She paid 7%. Is what she paid. 10% would have been $2,000. She paid 7% using her credit card. And people say, well, I'd have saved all the interest if I'd have paid cash. Yes, but you would have lost your $20,000. Because once you spend the cash, it's gone. I got 2 minutes. This is how you turn your expenses into an investment. Holy cow. I don't know about you, but I had a lot of fun. Oh boy, I can't believe we get to do this stuff. I had a lot of fun, and I hope you do. I hope you did too. Wow. We just showed how to take a $20,000 expense using velocity banking and turn that into a $1,478 she paid in interest. But because of the strategy of using velocity banking, they could pay it off in 6 months. 6 months. Save the $20,000 and literally get that roof for $1,478. Wow. That's all I got to say. This is what the rich people do. You wonder why the banks have 3 times the investments in their banking, in their velocity banking, in their infinite banking concepts than they do in real estate. Isn't that interesting? Hey, God bless you. Great seeing you tonight. Love you guys. If you're looking to hire, if you want some credit, go to smartmoneyculture.tv/credit and fill it out. We'll see you soon. Fly Mackey.